Hey Basecampers, my name is Connor and I'm here for another virtual lesson with you guys. Last week, Jeff talked a little bit about how we can still trust God even though we might be going through difficult times. And he compared it to the story of Paul that we heard about 2 weeks ago during our big Basecamp adventure. Hey Josh.
Oh, hey Connor.
This is Josh, everybody, but
Hey everyone.
what's going on?
I don't know. I'm just kind of down in the dumps.
Yeah?
Really been thinking through this whole last year and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, with the coronavirus and
Yeah.
I can't really see my friends all that often and I can't really go out to my favorite restaurants.
Ugh.
And it's just not very fun.
No.
No.
It has been a really hard year.
Yeah.
And what do we do when things are really hard? That's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, I just chose to be sad.
Yeah, and that's an understandable response. You know, I think we can learn a little bit from the person of Paul. Have you ever heard of Paul?
Paul, I recognize that name.
Yeah, he actually wrote a lot of the Bible that we have today, and he was a big leader in the church at the very beginning.
Really?
But you know what? Even though he was so important, a lot of bad things happened to him as well.
Did really?
Yeah. You know, it might be easier to go back to that time. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, but how are we gonna do that? What the? What did you do? How did you do that?
I'm pretty cool, aren't I?
I mean, I'd say, but how is this gonna help me learn about Paul?
Yeah, hold on just a second. Now, Paul, do you know who Paul is?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Now, in the last 5 chapters of the book of Acts in the New Testament, it shows one after another a story of the difficult times that Paul went through.
Really, how difficult could it really be?
Well, for one thing, things start off and he's arrested and put in jail.
What?
Yeah, he's arrested and put in jail, and he didn't even commit a crime. He was actually just telling others about Jesus.
So he got put in jail but he probably got out really quick.
You would think that, but he was there for a full 2 years.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
But is that it?
No, not quite. So finally, he asked for a trial in Rome.
Okay.
And so they sent him over there, and he jumped on a ship.
Hence the,
And,
okay, that
and,
makes
and
sense.
behind us, the ship.
Okay, fair.
But they didn't quite predict the weather right. And there was a massive storm, and the ship was wrecked.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, did they survive?
Everybody made it ashore.
Okay, thank
and but afterwards, while they were making a fire from the wreckage of the ship, Paul got bit by a snake.
A snake?
Yes.
Goodness. Okay. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was
Okay.
venomous, but for some reason or somehow God was able to save him from that.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty tough. And then as soon as he got to Rome, he was put under house arrest. Do you know what that is?
Isn't that where a guard
Yeah, exactly.
is keeping Paul in his house? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And much like what we've had to go under, we haven't been able to leave our houses much over this past year.
Good points.
But, Paul had that for a few years.
Wow.
And what's amazing is that all throughout this, Paul would say something along the lines of, I don't understand everything what you're doing, God, but I'm going to trust you. And God would answer saying that Paul would be his witness, or Paul would talk to others about Jesus in Rome. And God would ask Paul to trust him, even though Paul didn't understand everything that was going on.
So, I want to make sure I'm understanding this. Just like Paul went through all of those hardships,
Yeah,
I need to trust God as well.
absolutely.
Even though I don't have a clue what God is doing.
Absolutely. That's a great lesson for us to learn from.
I feel a lot better.
I have one more trick for us.
I like these clothes. Don't change them again.
Don't worry. No, you can keep those.
Okay.
But let's list off some of the bad things that have happened this year.
Okay.
And maybe some of the bad things that Paul went through.
Okay.
So, we all are living through a pandemic,
Pandemic.
the coronavirus.
Yep, correct.
We can't see our friends as much.
Yep, odd thing. Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things that Paul went through again?
Bitten by a snake.
Bitten by a snake.
Put in jail.
Put in jail. The list goes on, but...
What'd you do to the paper?
I don't know, the paper, the bad thing happened to the paper, right?
Yeah, I would say you destroyed it.
I destroyed it. But an interesting way that God works is that he takes all of those bad things.
Is that a cross?
That is a cross. God takes all of those bad things and works them for good. And this is shown in this Bible verse that I have for us today.
Wow.
And it's Romans 8:28, and it says this, "And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God." And what we can know from that Bible verse, from that story, is that even though we might not understand everything that's going on, especially in our world, or the things that we are experiencing, we can choose to trust God in those moments and know that we'll be better for it.
Well, thank you, Connor. I'm really glad that I came and talked to you today and learned a lot more about Paul. I think I'm gonna go read the story for myself.
I love it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I am gonna keep this though.
Oh, go for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Well, thanks for joining us today, Base Camp, in our story of Paul. And let's just remember that even though we might not understand everything that's been going on for us this year, that we can still trust God, even in the midst of that. So we will see you guys next week for our another big Base Camp adventure, and it will be really fun. You do not want to miss it. So I'll see you guys next time.